Welcome to Ping 24 Updates, your daily dose of what's happening around the world. Subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. In a bold and unprecedented move, the Indian Navy has deployed 4 of its most advanced warships into the South China Sea, a region that has become a flashpoint for international tensions and strategic rivalries. The South China Sea is one of the world's most hotly contested maritime regions, with overlapping territorial claims and frequent confrontations between regional powers. This is far from a routine patrol. It's a carefully calculated deployment designed to reinforce strategic alliances, demonstrate India's commitment to international law, and assert the principle of freedom of navigation for all nations. The timing of this operation is crucial, coming at a moment when tensions between China and the Philippines are reaching new heights, with both sides locked in a standoff over disputed islands and maritime boundaries. India's visible presence in these waters signals a significant shift in the regional balance of power and highlights the country's growing maritime ambitions on the global stage. These warships are not simply passing through, they are actively engaging in complex joint exercises with friendly navies, building trust and interoperability with partners from Southeast Asia and beyond. The message from New Delhi is unmistakable. The South China Sea cannot be claimed as the exclusive domain of any single nation, and India is prepared to defend the rights of all countries to navigate these vital sea lanes. This high-profile deployment is a tangible demonstration of India's Act East policy, which aims to deepen economic, diplomatic, and security ties with Southeast Asian nations and promote a free and open Indo-Pacific. For the Philippines and other regional partners, the arrival of Indian warships offers much-needed reassurance and serves as a powerful counterbalance to China's growing assertiveness in these disputed waters. This mission is not about provoking conflict, but about fostering cooperation and creating a more stable, secure maritime environment for all nations in the region. As Indian vessels navigate these strategic and often turbulent waters, they embody a nation that is ready to shoulder greater global responsibilities and play a leading role in shaping the future of the Indo-Pacific. To truly grasp India's recent naval maneuvers, we must first revisit its fraught relationship with China, especially in the wake of the deadly Galwan Valley clash in 2020. That confrontation marked a turning point, shattering decades of uneasy peace and trust along the border. Since that fateful night, both nations have dramatically increased their military presence along the disputed Himalayan frontier. The region has become a tense flashpoint, with regular patrols, new infrastructure, and a constant risk of escalation. But India's strategic concerns don't end there. China's deepening partnership with Pakistan complicates the security landscape, creating a two-front dilemma that stretches India's resources and attention. By deploying warships to China's maritime periphery, India is sending a clear message. It has the capability to exert pressure on Beijing not just on land, but also across the vast expanse of the seas. This bold move is a direct response to what India perceives as China's increasingly assertive and expansionist actions, both on its borders and in the wider Indo-Pacific. Gone are the days of strategic restraint. India is now actively forging coalitions, participating in joint naval exercises with Quad partners and other like-minded nations to ensure the Indo-Pacific remains free, open, and inclusive. This naval deployment is more than just a show of force. It's a calculated act of strategic messaging. India is making it clear that it will not be limited to a defensive posture, but is ready to shape events beyond its borders. By operating in the South China Sea, thousands of kilometers from home, India demonstrates both its growing reach and its ambition to be a net security provider for the region, reassuring partners and deterring adversaries alike. This is about more than just flexing naval muscle. India is actively working to shape the geopolitics of the Indo-Pacific, seeking a stable balance of power and a rules-based order. In effect, India is shifting the contest with China from the high, rugged mountains to the dynamic, unpredictable high seas, expanding the arena of competition and influence. This is the emergence of a more assertive, confident India, one that is ready to play a larger, more decisive role in shaping the future of Asian security and the broader Indo-Pacific region. India's Eastern Fleet has dispatched 4 of its most advanced frontline warships to the South China Sea: a guided missile destroyer, a stealth frigate, an anti-submarine corvette, and a fleet tanker. This powerful task force is a clear signal of India's growing maritime ambitions and its readiness to operate far from its own shores. This is a versatile, self-sufficient group, designed for extended operations in distant waters. Each ship brings unique capabilities, allowing the fleet to respond to a wide range of threats and challenges, whether in combat or humanitarian missions. The destroyer's advanced radar and missile systems anchor the flotilla, providing formidable air defense and strike power. Its sensors can track multiple targets, ensuring the fleet's safety against aerial and missile threats. Meanwhile, the stealth frigate and anti-submarine corvette work together to counter threats both above and below the waves. Their cutting-edge technology allows them to detect and neutralize enemy submarines and surface ships, keeping the fleet secure. The fleet tanker is the lifeline of the group, enabling the warships to remain at sea for weeks at a stretch. This showcases India's growing logistical reach and its ability to sustain operations far from home bases. By deploying near the Philippines, India places its assets at the very heart of the South China Sea dispute, a region marked by rising tensions and competing territorial claims. This move signals India's willingness to play a more active role in regional security. Indian warships offer visible support to Southeast Asian countries facing Chinese intimidation, strengthening partnerships and building trust with regional allies. This deployment is a practical demonstration of India's commitment to freedom of navigation and respect for international maritime law, ensuring that vital sea lanes remain open for all. Over the past 2 decades, the Indian Navy has transformed itself into a true blue water force, capable of projecting power and influence across the Indo-Pacific. Modernization, training, and international exercises have all contributed to this evolution. This deployment is the culmination of years of investment and strategic planning, demonstrating India's ability to undertake complex missions far from its own coastline. India is now able to operate seamlessly with major naval powers like the US, Japan, and Australia, contributing to regional security and stability through joint exercises and coordinated patrols. The message is clear: India is a serious maritime player, ready to protect its interests, support its partners, and uphold the rules-based order at sea. The Indo-Pacific is no longer a one-navy show. With India's growing presence, the balance of power is shifting, and the region is witnessing a new era of cooperation and competition on the high seas. The Indian Task Force's main mission is to strengthen its partnership with the Philippines. The warships will conduct complex exercises with the Philippine Navy, focusing on interoperability and joint responses to threats. These drills build trust and operational synergy, covering anti-surface, anti-air, and maritime domain awareness. For the Philippines, India's experience in monitoring vast ocean spaces is invaluable. The exercises may also include humanitarian and disaster relief scenarios, reflecting modern naval priorities. Beyond tactics, this deployment symbolizes deepening political and defense ties. Both democracies face similar challenges from an assertive China, bringing them closer. Training together, India gains insights into the South China Sea's unique security landscape. This collaboration lays the foundation for a true strategic partnership in the Indo-Pacific. New Delhi frames this deployment as a proactive step for maritime cooperation and regional security, not aggression. India's vision for a free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific is now central to its foreign policy. Sending warships is the practical side of this commitment. Officials stress the mission's goal: building stronger relationships and interoperability with regional navies. India's presence reinforces that Indo-Pacific security is a shared responsibility. In geopolitics, presence matters. Credible action must back up policy. This is mission-based deployment. Reassure partners, deter adversaries, and show India is a reliable security partner. India walks a fine line, challenging China's assertiveness without escalating conflict. The focus on cooperation and international law lets India claim the diplomatic high ground. This dual approach, soft power diplomacy and hard power presence, defines India's evolving grand strategy. India is learning to speak softly while carrying a capable fleet. India's deployment comes amid a bitter China-Philippines dispute in the South China Sea. China's sweeping claims overlap with the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, leading to frequent confrontations. Chinese vessels have harassed Filipino fishermen and supply missions using water cannons and gray zone tactics. In 2016, an international tribunal rejected China's claims, but Beijing ignored the ruling and intensified its activities. The Philippines faces immense pressure, a David versus Goliath struggle against China's maritime might. Into this volatile environment, Indian warships arrive as a symbol that international law and sovereign rights matter. Their presence is a reminder force and intimidation cannot erase legal rights. India's partnership with the Philippines goes beyond naval drills. It includes advanced defense sales. In 2022, the Philippines became the first foreign buyer of India's BrahMos supersonic cruise missile. The BrahMos, one of the world's fastest, gives the Philippines a credible coastal deterrent. This shifts the strategic balance, raising the cost of aggression for China. The first BrahMos batteries are already in place, strengthening Philippine defenses. Manila is also eyeing India's Akash air defense system, which would further bolster its security. India's missile diplomacy empowers partners to defend themselves, creating a more balanced regional security architecture. This approach is more sustainable than direct alliances, helping others resist coercion. The BrahMos on Philippine shores is a powerful symbol of India's commitment to Indo-Pacific security. China's overwhelming maritime presence drives nations like the Philippines to seek partners such as India. Beyond its navy, China's Coast Guard and maritime militia use gray zone tactics to assert control without open conflict. Hundreds of Chinese vessels operate daily in the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, swarming disputed reefs and harassing local ships. This relentless pressure creates a high-risk environment where miscalculation could spark a larger conflict. The rules of engagement are unclear, and Beijing exploits this ambiguity. India's deployment signals that regional security cannot be dictated by a single nation's gray zone fleet. It's an attempt to restore balance and deter reckless behavior. India's warship deployment is a masterstroke, part of a long-term strategy to become a credible Indo-Pacific security partner. India isn't replacing the US, but carving out its own role as a counterweight to China. By strengthening its military and building partnerships, India's Act East policy is in action. This gives Southeast Asian nations more options than just choosing between Washington and Beijing. The move carries risks. Beijing will respond sharply, but inaction would let China consolidate control. India's choice act now, or risk being sidelined in regional security. The world is watching to see if India will deepen these partnerships and embrace its role as a balancing power. Is India ready to stand with partners in troubled waters? The answer may shape the future of the Indo-Pacific.